Squiggles, are you ever afraid of anything?
Not me. I'm faster than a speeding golf cart.
Yeah. I know you're fast, but there's some things even a squirrel can be afraid of. At least, I suppose.
Well, oh, sure. I don't like it when dogs get loose and start to chase me. Sometimes a lightning storm gives me the shivers.
Have you ever heard of Moses and the Red Sea?
You got me, Truffles. Is that a rock group?
No, silly. It's a Bible story. It's a story my mother used to read to me.
Oh, that Moses. I know him. What about him?
If you can be afraid of a loose dog, can you imagine a whole army of Egyptian warriors chasing after you in chariots?
No. That'll get my heart beating all right.
You got that right, my friend.
So what did Moses do?
Well, it wasn't just him being chased. It was all the Hebrew people who were escaping from Egypt, the slavery there, with God's help.
Wow, did the Hebrews have chariots too?
No, they were mostly on foot with donkeys carrying their supplies. They did have a head start, but Pharaoh changed his mind about letting the people go with Moses, so he sent his army after them.
Moses must have been awful scared.
Really? But Moses knew that God was still helping them. God led them right up to the Red Sea.
Could they swim? I'm not a very good swimmer. My fur gets wet and I get too heavy.
No, that wasn't the plan. They were right between the army and the Red Sea. I think I would be terrified. I can't swim either. Water in these ears is a problem.
Oh, so what happened? What did God do for them?
A miracle.
Such as?
God told Moses to stretch his hand over the waters, and the waters began to pull apart from each other and make a dry path for the Hebrew people to follow.
Wow, that is chilling.
Yeah.
So what happened next?
The Hebrews all walked across the sea.
With all their stuff?
Yeah?
But the army was coming after them, wasn't it?
Sure it was. The soldiers and the horses weren't sure about stepping into the path of the waters, but their leaders drove them forward.
Wow, I'd be so scared if I was one of the Hebrew animals.
But that's the whole point. With God, all things are possible. We have to put our trust in God to keep us safe.
So did the Egyptian army get across the sea and catch up with Moses and his people?
No, they did not, because God told Moses to lower his staff, and the waters came back with a roar, and the horses and the riders went tumbling into the sea.
And they drowned?
Yes, but it was part of God's plan. And God's people were safe because Moses trusted God, and the people trusted Moses.
So, if we trust God, we will always be safe?
I wouldn't go that far. People who trust God can get hurt and get sick, and they can die. But nothing can separate us from the love of God. And God's love can take us through the challenges of the world and into the joy of God's heaven.
Wow, that's a good lesson, Truffles, for all of us.
I think so. I feel better knowing God is always with me, even in times of danger.
Oh.
Let's say a prayer.
Okay.
Bow your head. Thank you, dear God. We give you praise for all your kind and loving ways. Today, if sunshine turns to rain or dark clouds bring some pain, we won't doubt or hide in fear. For you, dear God, are always near.
Amen.
Yay.
Hey, Truffles, let's go and play. I'll climb a tree and you hop over and watch me.
Okay, sounds good, Squiggle, sounds good. Hey, Truffles. What? would you like to introduce, we're going to introduce Miss Julie. You can introduce her if you want. She's got a beautiful voice. Would you turn on the magic screen and get us going? Okay, hop over to it.
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul.
Hi, boys and girls. Hi, cats and dogs. Hi, rabbits and squirrels. Hi, Mom and Dad. We are here today to learn about origami, the origami boat, and the story of Jesus when he went with his disciples across the sea in a sailboat at night. And it got stormy and scary. And then the disciples were scared for their lives, but Jesus was calmly asleep in the back of a bouncing boat with the waves going high and down and the thunder and the lightning. And they said, Jesus, wake up, help us. And Jesus said, calm down. Don't you realize that if you're with me, you're safe, you've got peace? And he stood up and he made a motion, and the winds calmed down and the sea slowly settled down and everything was nice and peaceful. And that's what Jesus can do for us miraculously. Jesus had a lot of friends who were sailors, so he was on the boat a lot of times. I'm going to show you how to make this boat. It's a very old-fashioned traditional boat, often made out of a newspaper, but if you don't have too many newspapers lying around these days, but you can use a piece of paper like this, a regular sheet of paper. It can't be a square, it's got to be a rectangle. First, we'll fold it in half. You can always replay this tape if you want to see how to do this, if you can't catch it the first time. Fold it in half like that. Neatness counts, it's got to be edge to edge. Then open it up, and then fold it in half the other way from side to side, like this. And now you have a tent. Okay, you got that? Fold in half the other way. Good. So, with a tent, with it shaped like a tent, take the folded side, and you see this corner right here? You're going to bend it at an angle along the middle line, like this. It goes right along the middle line, like that. From here, fold it along there to the middle line. And then the other side will go down to match it, side by side. And now it looks like kind of a house or a teepee or something. Okay? Now you all got that? You went, fold one side, fold the other side, they match. Now there's a flap at the bottom. You want to pull one side of that flap straight up over the bottom of that triangle, all the way up as far as you can go, which isn't very far, about that far, like that. Turn it over, and then fold the other half, other side, up on that side to match. It'll match the same height on the other side, like this. So it looks like this and like this. And this is kind of, if it was made out of a bigger newspaper, that would actually fit on your head and be a captain's hat. If you were a captain of a ship, you could wear a hat like that if you had a big piece of newspaper. but we don't have big pieces of newspaper so much anymore, at least not in my house. But so this is the captain's hat. And Jesus was like the captain of the ship because he's the captain of our souls. He is the captain. So now we're going to do something kind of fun. We're going to put our hand inside that pocket and squash it flat. And then when you squash it flat, you got these two little edges you got to tuck in. Tuck one under the other, and they just tuck under like that. So remember, it was like this. You open it up, bring it together, squash it, and make the flaps go flat. Everybody got that? Okay. Now it's kind of like a bell. The loose part is at the bottom, the point at the top. I want you to take the very bottom tip, and we're going to bend it straight up to the very top tip in half on one side first. Bring it all the way up, like that, from the bottom straight up to the top in one fold, like that, and then turn it over and do the same thing, the bottom to the top, straight up in half. And now it looks like we have an admiral hat, but it's a smaller head. So admirals usually have bigger heads, but anyway, no. This is an admiral hat. Okay, everybody got that? Okay, now you're going to put your hand inside there and squash it flat again. And you go, oh my, what do we do now? Here's the cool part. Take the top of this. This is a loose part at the bottom. Okay, the bell at the bottom. You take the top points and bring them sideways apart and pull them apart and push the middle down on the inside until, this is a little bit tricky. You just got to keep pushing and then you have it. That's your boat. And then you smooth out the edges and you got a boat that you can float your boats a little bit. And remember the story about Jesus, how he can calm the sea, even the rough sea. He could just calm the sea. He can calm the troubles in your life. Just ask him. Have a great day. Bye.
Hi, I'm Jan,
I'm Steve.
and we're helping Truffles and Squiggles tell the story today. We're from Atonement Lutheran Church in Wesley Chapel, Florida, and we're part of the Puppet Ministry, and we hope you enjoyed today, and we hope to see you soon for our next one. Bye.
Bye, kids. See you soon.
Bye.